going to be a hybrid author. And today, as you have seen on the title, is my tips and tricks to achieve a successful 10K in 24 hours or in a day. I'm pretty sure you will be able to kind of cater this to your own style of writing and your lifestyle. I know I share some tips on a writing blog where I did a 10K, and I will put in the cards. I don't remember which is the corner, but you'll see it pop up and it will be in the description box. But I kept thinking about it, and I had a couple of things to say because it takes a lot mentally, and it takes a lot more preparation than just to say, oh, this day I'm gonna write 10K day. Does that work for people? Absolutely yes. Is it the most successful approach to it? Not necessarily. So this is what I think. This is based on my own experience, doing multiple 10K days, achieving some and not achieving some. First thing that I would like to kind of state, this type of big word count challenges are quantity over quality. So highly will recommend, if you're not a writer that can word vomit on a page, don't sweat the 10K days. That most likely is not going to be your thing, and that is okay. You're not less of a writer, and you actually are not above of a writer compared to people that do 10Ks. It's just you're a different writer. Your process is different. What I think in this case is the most important, whether you can or cannot do a 10K day, is to embrace your own journey. This challenge is not done to make other writers feel bad, or don't let your brain tell you that other writers want to make you feel bad or want to shame you for not being able to write that much, or because you're able to write that much. Like, either or, that is not the thing. And if you encounter someone like that, politely push them out of your life. The other reason, if these big word count challenges are hard for you or feel unattainable because you are a slower writer, typer, one suggestion is see if dictation works, or the other suggestion is take the highest word count you have done in a day and try to achieve that, or try to add between 500 to 1K words to that highest word count and try to achieve that. The thing about 10K days is to immerse yourself in the story and to write as much as possible. Now, you decided to do a 10K day, or whichever amount of words you decided to do. Pre-planning helps drastically. Gonna say this again. Pre-planning helps drastically. I know some people are allergic to planning, but hear me out. A 10K day, or whichever amount you decide is gonna be your challenge, is a lot. And you want to give yourself the best chance you can. So things like food, rest, minimizing interruptions, etc., are important things to get ahead of. Especially if you're a parent or if you take care of a family member. You might need to schedule some additional help. So list out things that commonly breaks up your writing time. And see how can you come up with solutions to take most of it, if not all of it, out of your plate for that specific day. In addition, know what you're gonna eat. Make things easy on you. So easy foods to make, or maybe that's gonna be the day that you yourself, if you're just one person, or maybe that's the day that the family is gonna order out. This is very important. Schedule your sleep. You don't want to do this sleep deprived. Seriously. It's very important that you sleep. Sleep, please. Drink lots of water. Coffee nor tea are a substitute. Water. You're sitting for almost the entire day. Be nice to your body and stay hydrated. Now, you think we will be done with planning? Not yet. Stay with me. Have a game plan for the actual day. If you're a pantser, know what you'll write. It doesn't have to be detailed. It can be, I want a chapter, or I want a scene where character X meets character M. Have a list of all the things that you will write, that you would like to write ideally. And start writing and see where it leads you. For planners or plotters, have a good amount of scenes and chapters. For me, I know my scenes could be at the very least 1,000 words. So I need 10 scenes, outlines. Usually I have a couple more, like 12 or 14 scenes, just in case one or two scenes end up a little shorter than 1K. So I will have enough scenes to go through the day. If I'm working on chapters, I try to have 4 to 6 chapter outlines. That usually is a good amount for me to reach 10K. The thing about this is that you already have it all laid out for you, so you just write instead of planning what comes next. A tiny tidbit: if you can, be okay with jumping around. Again, this is about outputting words, trying to stay in the writing zone as long as possible. If the scene is not flowing, check if another scene is. If you can jump scenes, journal your way through it and count it as words. We all know every word we write doesn't end up in the final draft, so it's okay to make a summary of the rest of the scene to be able to move on to the next one. Other thing, sprints will be your best bet. First, know what's the best sprint time for you. If the day I'm doing a 10K day and I found that focusing is hard, I stick to short sprints between 15 to 25 minutes. Only when I'm like sewn in, I move into longer sprints like 30, 45, 60 minutes. Also, know what's your average word count per sprint and be honest with yourself. Not the ideal average, but the true hard and factual average. Ideally, my short sprints can get me between 300 and 500 words, but realistically, if I'm not focused, I will be anything between 200 to 400 words, and sometimes that is like barely there. Knowing this, I have an idea how many sprints I need to achieve X amount of words. If you're never attempt a 10K day, maybe try a couple of different days doing different amount of sprints, and see how you usually do. Like days where you're like really in the zone, then days that you barely can focus on a sentence. Just try out first what will be the best sprints for the state of mind that you are. Other recommendation, I have no counted this, so I don't know which number this is, but schedule breaks. Breaks are important, not just bedroom and meal breaks. I'm talking about actual breaks. Let your brain, your fingers, your hands, your wrist rest. I believe they should have a correlation with how long your sprints are. I want to look for my 2021 planner to find the 10K in 24 hours that I did back in, when was this? Back in April of 2021. Most of my sprints for this day were 30 minutes. I had some that were 50 minutes or like 45 minutes, but the majority of the sprints were 30 minutes. And I had breaks in between. So what I did is I will start a 30-minute sprint, right, and then I will watch for this I watch a mobile Korean drama. So what I mean with that is a very short drama. They're dramas that are anything between 12 to 18 minutes, the longest, as an episode, and they are usually no more than 12 episodes. So that's what I did for that 30-minute sprint, and then an episode which will be anything between 12 to 18 minutes. And I slept that day. I did, I ate, apparently I did even, I some chores that I had listed, and I was able to do 10,054 words. Now, the other one that I did, which was this past July, the one that I documented that I did by myself, not with the 10K, 24 to 10K relay. This one I did on Thursday, July the 14th. And keep in mind, I do use the 24 hours. For the one that I did in April, it was from 11 a.m. to 11 a.m. From this one in July, I did from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. This one I did anything between 45 to 60-minute long sprints, and I was watching a Chinese drama, which episodes are usually anything between 40 to 45 minutes. That's why I did longer sprints, because I was watching something on the longer side. And it was something that I was very interested in watching, so having to reach a specific work and goal, I tried that pretty much all of my workouts were close or over 1,000 words, and for this one I did 10,022 words with 8 hours left to spare. So that's what I did. I was not super focused on the 10K day that I did on 2021 during April, so that's why they were short-ish sprints, and that's why my breaks were shorter too. For this one, I was pretty inspired. I was very motivated by the show that I wanted to watch, that I was able to like hyper focus for that time. I will also link the video of the 10K in 24 hours that I did in April, because I do have a video too. What I'm trying to say is that short sprints equal short breaks, long sprints equal long breaks. But this is gonna depend on where your mindset and motivation are. Caveat: breaks are something you have to find what works for you, similarly with sprint times. For me, watching K-dramas or Chinese dramas is a great break, because it gets me, gets my brain, my hands a break, but I'm also consuming storytelling, so it's kind of like feeling my creative well at the same time. I know Western series don't work for me. Most are too long, and recent shows are made to binge watch. They're kind of like, the way they work the episodes is to entice you to binge watch, and I'm already a binge watcher, reader, consumer. I don't need anyone to convince me to do something that I do kind of like naturally. So know what works for you. So if you find that walking, doing household chores, watching YouTube videos, reading, snuggling with your dog or your cat works for you, what I want to say is find what works for you and set a range of time. So don't make your breaks longer than your sprints. Don't make your breaks longer than your sprints. Next, document this. It doesn't have to be a video. Heck, you don't even have to post it on social media, but document it on your planner or bullet journal, a notebook, or a random piece of paper. Even if it's a Google Sheet or Excel, will be a great tool for it. Just note how long your sprint was, how many words you got, keep tabs on your totals, how many breaks you had, if they were long, if they were short, what you did, if you got distracted, what and why. Leave yourself as much information as possible, so if and when you want to tackle this challenge again, you have your own data that can give you information on what to do more and what to avoid. The more you do it, the more you document it, the better chances you will have to have a most successful 10K, whatever workout you decide, challenge. Kind of like starting to close this video because it's long and I apologize. It's okay if you can do it on the first try. Celebrate the words that you got. Look at what worked and what didn't. And I plead you to not put yourself down or guilt trip you over not reaching 10K workout or whichever high workout you decided to do. Again, the purpose of this challenge is to get you writing as much as possible, as long as possible. It's not the number of words. I will say this again. The challenge is to get you to write as much as possible, as long as possible, and not the number of words. Also, if you achieved it the first try, don't think you will always win it. AKA, don't get cocky. Life changes and some days you are busier than others or have less help than others. You might be burnt out. You might need a mental health break. You might be sick. The bottom line is you won't always achieve a 10K in a day, and that is okay. You're not less of a writer because you did not reach that arbitrary number. I hope you're able to get inspired, maybe try some of the tips and tricks, or maybe this was a video for you to kind of like settle on the decision of this high word count challenge are not for me, and that is okay. I hope it helps you embrace your writing journey in your process and helps you stop comparing yourself with others. You are much as a writer if you write 10 words, 100 words, 5,000 words, 10,000 words, 20,000 words. Everyone that sits down and writes and works on their craft, on their storytelling, is a writer. What is important is the story that you want to tell, and that you tell it as authentically and as respectful as you can. So if you like this type of video, like writing related videos, including writing blogs documenting my writing journey, hit the like button and subscribe. Share with me if you have done a 10K day and what was your experience. If you will try to take a couple of the tips that I share and see if you're able to do a 10K day. If this helped you to give yourself the permission to do a different workout amount that is challenging for you, or if this helped you give yourself the permission and embrace that you are not a high workout challenge writer, and that is okay. Let me know in the comments if you're any of those. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.